Imagine being at the top of your sport, the world number one, winning a major title, and then, when asked, what is love? You answer simply, love is loving. What do you make of that? Welcome back to TennisZap. Today, we dive into Jannik Sinner, the champion, the mystery, the unexpected romantic. Stay tuned because we've got more than just the result. We're peeling back the layers. Hey everyone, welcome to TennisZap, your go-to channel for tennis news, profiles, behind-the-scenes stories, and the interesting stuff you don't always hear from the commentators. If you love tennis and the lives of the players behind the racket, hit subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss out. On November 2nd, 2025, Jannik Sinner captured the title at the Rolex Paris Masters, defeating Felix Auger-Aliassime 6-4, 7-6, 4. Reuters +2, Wikipedia +2. That victory marked his fifth ATP Masters 1000 title. He did it in straight sets, never dropping one all week, and in doing so, reclaimed the world number one ranking. Reuters +1. What this tells us, he's not just physically dominant, he's mentally dialed in. To win big tournaments with such consistency and composure at this level is rare. In many ways, this sets the stage for our story today, because we're used to seeing the confident champion, the machine on court. But what about the person behind the racket? Sinner is known for being somewhat reserved off-court. He often focuses interviews on tennis, training, tactics, the next event. His private life has largely remained out of the spotlight. TennisUpToDate.com +1. For instance, in June 2025, ahead of a major final, he said, "It's a beautiful thing when you find the right love. Of course it's not simple. I travel a lot and during tournaments I'm very focused." TennisUpToDate.com. This shows a man who understands that competing at the top means sacrifices, but also values the possibility of something beyond the court. And then came the Q&A moment at Paris, which unexpectedly shifted from tennis to love. At the Paris stop in a lightweight fill-in-the-blank style Q&A. Sinner was asked, "What is love according to you?" He answered, "Love is loving." Sportskeeda +1. Then when asked about the most romantic thing he's done, he hesitated. Presents with flowers or kissing? I don't know. Sportskeeda? That brief exchange triggered a wave of reactions on social media. Fans poking fun, critics questioning his romantic credentials, mixed amusement, and bewilderment. Sportskeeda, let's pause here and unpack this, because this single moment opens up several angles. What it reveals about personality, how public perception shifts, and how athletes' off-court lives become fodder for commentary. First, his answer. Love is loving. Minimalist, profound in its simplicity, or lacking detail. That depends on your viewpoint. On one hand, it could suggest authenticity. He did not craft a press soundbite. He answered in his natural tone, without theatrical flourish. On the other hand, some might call it undercooked for a public figure used to speaking in front of cameras. Second, the next line about romance, presents with flowers or kissing? I don't know. Many fans interpreted that as awkward, unserious, or even clueless about what romance means. Comments like, "He's the worst boyfriend, Buck," or "Laila, I'm so sorry for you, girl. This dude is a loser dat," popped up. Sportskeeda third. The context matters. Sinner is a young champion, traveling, training under enormous pressure. Romance may not be his top priority, and perhaps he prefers keeping things private. He even said earlier, "I like to talk about tennis." If you're referring to private life, it's true. I want to keep it that way. I want to protect the people who are closest to me. TennisUpToDate.com. So the public reaction tells us, when a high-profile athlete gives a non-conventional answer about love, it becomes headline-making, and not always in a flattering way. The mix of expectation, we expect gold standard sound bites, and human reality, he's just a guy, creates friction. Around this period, Sinner was linked to Danish model and influencer Laila Hasanovic. The romance has not been fully confirmed in detail, but there's enough indication that people are curious. New York Post 1-4. So when Sinner gives a somewhat minimal or odd answer about the most romantic thing he's done, the audience wonders, what does this mean for someone in a relationship, or about to be? Does this reflect on the relationship? Should it? Here's something key. Being a top athlete means your life is under magnifying glass. Every word weighs more. His answer triggered commentary. Some supported him, under pressure perhaps. Some teased him, some criticized him. From a content creator perspective, this is gold. It offers 3 layers: sport achievement, personality off-court, public perception, and media reaction. For your channel, you can tap each layer to engage your audience. You might ask, is this really worth a full video? The answer, yes, because it reveals larger truths about athletes in this era. The branded athlete versus private individual tension. Sinner is expected to perform and also to present as an appealing figure off-court. The public's lens on romance. We treat athletes' romantic lives almost like reality TV. When a champion speaks about love, we judge. The difference between on-court dominance and off-court vulnerability. On-court, he's bulletproof. Off-court, he's shy, minimalist with words, unpolished. That contrast is compelling. The way social media amplifies these moments. A two-sentence Q&A becomes hundreds of tweets, memes, headlines. The athlete's narrative gets reshaped in 280 characters. So this moment is a clearer window into how modern athletes live, how audiences interact with their lives, how perception can shift in an instant. Let's break down the content of those lines and what they might signify. Love is loving. A tautology? Yes, but also intentionally so? It could mean love isn't complex, it's action. It's doing the loving. Or it could mean he doesn't want to overthink it publicly. He prefers simplicity. Presents with flowers or kissing? I don't know. This conveys hesitation, maybe vulnerability. He may not have a ready-made romantic act for the cameras. It highlights his authenticity. He didn't pivot into a textbook, I arranged a candlelit dinner in Venice trope. He just answered honestly or spontaneously. What this implies, Sinner may value love, but he deals with it privately. He doesn't manufacture a media-friendly story. For a high-performing athlete, this can be both refreshing and risky. Public expects stronger sound bites. For your audience, this is a teachable moment. It shows that even at the top level, a human can be uncomfortable, reluctant, normal. That disconnect between champion and person is what resonates. Thanks for watching this deep dive here on TennisZap. If you enjoyed this one, give it a like, share it with fellow tennis fans, and drop a comment. What did you think of Sinner's answer? And which athlete's personal moment surprised you the most? We'll be back soon with more stories from the world of tennis. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the next one. Until next time, stay curious and stay passionate about tennis.